This is the Voice of the Land podcast with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Nick Paulus.
Like Coach Stefanski said, any win in the NFL is a beautiful win, and it is a beautiful night in Cleveland. While it is raining outside, it still feels beautiful in Cleveland to be 7-3 going into Thanksgiving week, and you're on to the next game. Browns get the win 22-17 over the Philadelphia Eagles. I guess they didn't fly, those Eagles here today. So a lot of sad Eagles fans out there, not to take a shot at you, but I know that they got some issues over there in Philadelphia. We're riding high right now. We're flying high in Cleveland with this winning football team we have. Welcome on in to another edition of the Voice of the Land here on the Big Play Networks, and of course, partnered with LPV Productions as well. I am one of your hosts, Kevin Arnold, or Coach Kev, as I may be affectionately known moving forward. Of course, you can always follow me at Kevin7 on Twitter. I'm joined, as always, across the table as I am back in studio, and it's great to be back in studio with you
Great
guys.
to have you back.
Thank you. I did like my background I had last week, but it's
the Browns background.
Yeah. It's always
solid.
It's always better to be better in studio, though. But
of course, yeah.
I'm always joined by my brother, Nick Paulus. Follow him at CLE_Paulus. And, of course, behind the proverbial glass, you can't see him on camera. We're trying to get him to be on camera, but he won't do it yet. Our producer extraordinaire, Peter Tellup. Of course, you can also find our show on Twitter as well, as we are live right now at VTL_pod on Twitter. It is the same handle on Instagram. Find us on Facebook at Voice of Land and our YouTube page at Voice of Land Podcast. We are always live every Sunday night, not only on our Twitter, but also Big Play Facebook page, also Big Play Live YouTube channel, and Sportscaster Live as well. We are going to dive into Browns all night long, but I know, Paulus, we need to thank a couple sponsors here tonight, and I know with our buddy Tyler, DP Construction LLC has been helping us out a lot as we get into these live shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, DP Construction. Throw that out there. My brother, Tyler LaFrada, he is the owner of DP Construction, and he does some amazing concrete work. I mean, I'm talking whatever you need. If you need stairs done, he'll do that. You know, if you need a sidewalk port, he can do that. If you need a patio, I'm telling you, the stuff that they have of what they're doing is hands down ridiculously fantastic. So definitely hit them up. You can hit up Tyler at 330-217-4999. That's 330-217-4999. Just let them know that you are looking for DP Construction, and Tyler, I'm sure, will send out Uncle Steve, and they'll get you a price check on everything. And I'm telling you right now, fantastic work. So definitely check them out. You can check them out on Facebook as well at DP Construction.
Yeah, so check them out, of course, on social media as well, as I am just sharing some of these feeds going on right now. We also want to thank, here at Big Play, we want to thank the support of the T-shirt company Where I'm From. And I'm kind of sporting a new T-shirt. I want to thank them for the gear here. I know the guys are going to be getting some gear as well. Have not gotten those in yet, but a beautiful 216 shirt, of course, used in Terminal Tower. Tower City as the number one there, as we always know in our hearts. Cleveland is number one, but they have a tremendous giveaway going on right now, a Baker Mayfield giveaway. Ooh. Here, I don't know how Browns fans feel about Baker Mayfield today. You know, he's been playing pretty well.
Hey, no turnovers.
Yeah, no turnovers. So feeling pretty good. But they have a tremendous giveaway right now: a signed jersey, and then of course some T-shirts and some other gear. Prize pack valued at $1,000. So go on to Where I'm From on social media at Where I'm From on Twitter and Instagram, or over on Facebook at Where I'm From as well. Like their page. They have the giveaway only up until 11:59 and 59 seconds. You got to get that email address in there. You got to submit by tonight. So if you're watching live, go over there right now. Go ahead and do that. I'm sure a lot of these phones now allow you to kind of have picture-in-picture.
You got about 4 hours and 45 minutes to go, like almost to the dot. So
I was going to ask you how many seconds, but we won't go there. We won't go there.
Exactly.
Exactly 4 hours and 45 minutes right now. But if you're watching us on replay, if you kind of catch the show later on before you're heading to bed on Sunday night as well, if you're watching on Monday or anytime after or listening through the podcast platforms, Google, Spotify, Apple, I'm sorry, the giveaway is done. But if you are watching live right now, telling you right now, or you're watching before 11:59 and 59 seconds on Sunday, November 22nd, go find Where I'm From on social media or go to their website, whereimfrom.com. Get in on that giveaway. A lot of great gear. Nice shirts, very comfortable.
They look
gear.
awesome. I can't wait for mine.
Comfortable gear. So we want to thank all their support for Big Play as well.
I actually want to say, what? They have so many different styles. When I was looking through their website,
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I don't think I saw that 216 one because that one
It's a sweet one.
that
Yeah.
is really awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
I went digging. I went digging through the pages. So I mean, I always like the Browns, the Cavs, the Indians kind of gear
course.
that a lot of these t-shirt companies have. But when you incorporate the city of Cleveland
Yeah.
and you show kind of the essence, the beauty of, that we know it is, and not just our sports teams, the beauty the city brings, I'm all for any sort of gear like that to promote our city. And to continue promoting our city, of course, like we said, we're 7-3, baby. Enjoy it, Cleveland. Paulus, gotta know, man. Watching that game, how are you feeling Sunday night being 7-3 and going into Thanksgiving?
So effing happy.
He's being careful.
So close. I'm telling you, the entire time. And I know once again, we always get this, this mantra of, oh, well, the Browns only beat crappy teams. The Browns only beat crappy teams, blah, blah, blah. Yes, the Eagles suck. Carson Wentz is a bum. Okay. We all know that. It's fair to say that Baker outplayed Carson. And that's a straight up fact. Baker outplayed Carson. Did Baker miss a couple of easy throws? Yeah, yes, he did. A couple of touchdown throws. But he made a couple of really good throws too. Okay, so I just throwing out. I don't want to do the Baker love meter this week, but
don't.
I
Okay.
do not.
Okay.
I do not. Nothing like I'm going to give him an F or anything like that. Nothing like that. But I just want to be fair. This wasn't about Baker. Baker didn't have much to do with this win. Okay, this was all defense and this was all running game. And thank God, because that is what Cleveland football is about. Did we have bend and break plays, on defensively? Absolutely. Without Miles, I was terrified going into this game, thinking that Carson Wentz might actually show up. Ha! That's funny. Carson Wentz never shows up anymore. Ever since his, 2017, the year that they won the Super Bowl without him, that 11-game stretch, I believe it was, he hasn't done anything since then. I just want to be 100% real with you right there. Going into this game, I think it was the last 40 games. I think they're 18, 19, and 1. Do you know what the Browns are? Within that time frame? 19 and 20. Okay. We are the Eagles of that, of yesteryear. Okay.
Yes.
But we are on the up. We are coming up. They are 3-6-1 right now. And we are now 7-3?
7-3.
7-3. It's not too shabby. First time since 1994, whenever we started off 8-2. By the way, playoff year. So I'm so effing excited because this is what we've been building up to. You and I, we keep saying that, especially the talent that they have this year. We were like, you know what? This is the best talent that they've had since 99. And you know what? They're effing proving it. And thank God, because they're actually showing me something and not just talking about it. Literally, no one's talking. We don't have, does Baker say some funny stuff in press conferences now? Yeah, because he's got his swagger back.
Yeah, he's quoting rap songs out the.
Now, he hasn't had a passing touchdown in the last 3 games. That's an issue. And we're going to need to get over that. And you can't blame the weather because he's not blaming the weather. Okay? He even says, I got to be better.
Yeah.
I hear that. Just go out and show me. But he hasn't turned the ball over, which is the biggest concern with Baker Mayfield, turning the ball over. No, instead we are running the freaking ball. Once again, 60% of the time works every time. That is the going rate. If you run the ball 60% of the time with this Browns team, you win every freaking time. And what did they run today? 61%, 40 out of 65 plays. Perfect. Just keep doing that, Kevin, because thank God for Kevin Stefanski.
I was going to say me.
Well, you too, Coach Kev.
Thanks.
But I'm telling you, this has been just an unbelievable year. And I am so thankful that this is actually starting to come around.
Peter, 7-3, baby.
It's pinch me. I think last year this is what we expected last year when we got Beckham coming in. We had Landry. It's the team we had last year. I think this is what we really expected, and it was a letdown. I mean,
Of course.
yeah, of course. And I was nervous. I expected they should be able to win this one.
Yeah.
I always get a little bit nervous when you get this weather, but the Browns. Man, how about when Chubb ripped off that 54-yard
That
run?
stiff arm boy.
Oh
My
that was
goodness.
But did you see Baker's reaction?
right.
I know.
Run down the field.
He is having fun out there.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things I always think about when you have these teams who have nothing left to lose.
Yeah.
And they just go out there and they're loose and they just beat the crap out of everyone because
Beat the doors off.
right,
of them.
because they're relaxed.
Yeah.
And these guys are out there. They look like they're having fun. I mean, again, Hunt with that leap into the end zone.
Baker called it a Super Mario jump.
Yeah.
he said it was the double double tap.
The double
It was
tap,
awesome.
when you go get those goals.
Nice. Yeah,
Oh, it was great.
yeah. I'm excited. It's I'm still keeping my fingers crossed.
Sure.
but yeah. I mean,
Right.
It's fun watching them. It really is fun.
It is fun. And I know that, yes, Coach Kev has been tough at times, but it's been more trying to be realistic because there are some missed opportunities on the season, but they aren't allowing those missed opportunities to haunt them going forward. That is a huge difference in this team from other Browns teams of the past. When that team does not get in the end zone, they miss on fourth down, or when Baker fumbles and the Eagles are able to get back into it and tie the game up with that touchdown pass from Wentz to Rodgers, most Browns teams lose that kind of game. That's where all momentum goes away, and you see the Browns just cower or go into a shell. They didn't. And you have to give props to this defense for stepping up with Myles Garrett out. And prayers to Myles Garrett going through COVID because it's a real thing. And again, shout out to all the frontline workers having to fight this because it is a problem. And it's why a lot of people, unfortunately, will have different Thanksgiving plans this year, but out of the safety to have the same ones years going forward, of course. This defense stepped up. Now, they need to play like that when he's here, too, because guess what? He is getting double and triple teamed on the end. Vernon, 3 sacks today.
Unbelievable.
You have it in you.
Unreal.
He has it in him. So you got to show more of that. Hopefully, maybe that gets the juices rolling. You have Ogunjobi making plays. Denzel Ward is an underrated guy. Like, he's not underrated here in Cleveland, but he is someone that does not get talked about enough nationally as one of the top cornerbacks in the league.
OSU boy.
OSU. DBU.
Yeah.
I'm not going
After yesterday's performance, we'll talk.
I know.
We'll talk later.
All I'm
Don't
saying is I'm so glad that we're seeing some more Buckeyes on this
Yes.
Browns team. That's
Yes.
all I'm
That's
saying.
true.
Yes,
That's true.
just look down 2 hours south. You got talent that you can bring up here to the pros.
Oh yeah,
You don't have to fly in, man.
No.
You don't got to fly the scouts in there.
that's right.
But I mean, Sione Taki, Denzel Ward coming in, like timing up. He saw the tight ends going down to block inside.
Yeah.
He's coming off the end as a delayed blitz, gets the arm on Wentz, goes up in the air. Taki running down. That's a fun name to say. Taki. But yeah, so getting the defensive score. You got Vernon getting the safety and other guys making plays, except for number 23. This is a fun show. We're going to leave him to the side because he leaves football to the
Thank
side.
you.
So
Appreciate that.
Hey, Matt Fontana, instead of sending him to the Pro Bowl, we're going to send him to the streets. Just so you know.
The
Hashtag-
Sen Sendejo tweet should stop
yes,
right now.
stop that right now. But it's these defenders have it in them, and then of course you have the run game. When's the last time you saw a coach, when you had good running backs, actually stick to it? Last year, we didn't. The year before that, we didn't do that. It wasn't working in the first half. They had 18 or 20 yards total between Hunt and Chubb in the first half. They kept going. And then Nick Chubb, I mean, someone must have disrespected him, or he had some frustration built up, because
that stiff arm.
Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable.
Jeez. I mean, we talk about toe drag swag. That was some stiff arm swag.
That was the angry run. That was the Kyle Brandt angry run segment.
Run. I mean,
that's going to be right there.
They'll be number one. I mean, like, that guy didn't even have a chance. Like, you just look. I saw the close-up replay. You look in that defender's eyes.
He stiff-armed him back to the Stone Age. It was unbelievable the way he did that to him. He did him dirty. Yeah, he really did.
It's just, so it's like I said. Yeah, I've been tough, but again, it's in the moment, those missed opportunities. But now you're seeing them learn from the mistake. The Raiders game, they got out toughed. They started to get out toughed in the first half. What happened? They quickly made the adjustment. They out toughed their opponent last week. They out toughed the Philadelphia Eagles today. In the weather conditions, they're not excuses. But when you know that points are going to be at a premium and your defense has to step up and you have to capitalize on opportunities, that is what they have done, and they have been the more physical team, which is what AFC North, Cleveland-bred football is all about. And we 7-3, baby.
We 7-3, and we're in second place now.
Yes.
Because Baltimore just lost. Baltimore lost, Miami lost, and then the Raiders have to play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That is the best combination that we could have ever hoped for. Honestly, right there. And if Green Bay ends up beating the Colts, which at last checked they were winning, I believe 28-25. If that happens, like, that is the ideal week for the Cleveland Browns. Is not only did you beat the Eagles, but you also had all of the help that you needed.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone else lost, and that just keeps moving you up in the rankings, and that's what I like to see out of that. I mean, the defense, if we're going to talk about somebody today, I mean, I would love to talk about Nick Chubb. I mean, Kareem Hunt, I mean, he had 13 carries for 11 yards. But, like, it was the
yards. But negative yards when he scored that touchdown.
He was doing so much, though. Like, I mean, those 13 carries were hard-earned carries. But that being said, the defense is what surprised the hell out of me. I mean, we're talking about people that, that are overcoming things. Okay. Denzel had a pass interference penalty at the very end of the game. And then the very next play, they get it down to the goal line. What happens? He intercepts the ball, essentially ending the game. And that's the type of stuff that you like to see, because once again, it's something that last year, years previous, he has the pass interference penalty. Carson Wentz throws a touchdown. They get the onside kick. Like just things rolled, a different way. Not this year. Not with this Browns team. Not with this coaching staff out there. I mean, they have been unbelievable. And once again, Vernon, OV, as what his teammates like to call him, OV. Like, God bless you, because you stepped up, and like, you were, honestly, to me, probably the last person I thought was going to step up today.
Yeah.
I thought Porter Gustin would have a better game. I thought Ogunjobi. I thought Sheldon Richardson was going to go, to the defensive end spot like he flip-flopped last year whenever Miles left, and ended up getting 3 sacks. And then, towards the end of the year, the last couple of games, then OV just comes out of nowhere with 3 sacks and a very timely safety. Because if it's not for the safety, I mean, this game's 20-17.
Yeah.
They can start kicking field goals if that's the way that they wanted to go. Thankfully, we didn't have to go down that route. Like, we put them away. And that's what good teams do. Good teams put away these crap teams that are in front of us. Guess what? We got another crap team ahead of us next week. It's hopefully not going to be played in a hurricane. Hopefully.
I guess there's rain in Jacksonville next week.
I guarantee you there's rain. Yeah, no, we can't catch a break whenever it comes to this weather.
No.
But I hope it's nice. I hope it's nice and sunny. I guarantee you all the players do too.
Yeah.
You know, like I can guarantee you they're all sick and tired of this, this Ohio weather that we have going on right now. But I'm so happy to see this team be so freaking good. And it's honestly, it's boosting my morale. It's I mean, 2020 has been bleak enough, but it's starting to look a little bit brighter towards the end of the year.
Hey man, flying high because the Browns are 7-3. Like again, like you said, it is the best start, the best start in what, since 2007?
Well, no.
Or
7-3 was since 94. We went 8-2, but obviously, I mean, since we've been back, since the new aged Browns, best start ever.
Yeah. It's even people we got people in the comments right now on Facebook. I mean, if you're gonna try to troll us, you're gonna try to.
No. I know.
No, I'm going to read it, but it's not gonna affect me. Like I apologize if I butcher your name right now. I try to. I don't have someone I can go off of like I did it play by play to.
Right. It's not Mr. Everything.
Yeah. I can't.
Did you like that? By the way. So just to let everyone know, so we for the next, I was on the Next Level earlier this week on ESPN 850 WKNR, and we were talking about play-by-play readings and not knowing like DJ Ugalale or whatever, the guy from Clemson, the backup quarterback, his name's DJU is what I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
But I was saying how whenever we did play-by-play, and Mr. Everything was typically for, players that were, doing everything and doing really well. But like I did state, because it's a fact. Like if I didn't know a guy's name, I would, if I didn't know the kid's name, I was going to say Mr. Everything. So we were rolling with that. Obviously, I gave you a shout out. I mean, best play-by-play guy, in the biz. So,
I mean, I pride myself on going to ask like anybody. Like I was asking like student filmers, like the guy, like the one kid that's not able to play, or he's maybe JV and he comes, he's in his jersey, but he's up top, he's got to film. I'm asking anybody I can find for both schools.
Oh, of course,
for these high schools to get their names. But again, I apologize if I butcher this name, but Eden Mattenjanin, saying Browns are the worst 7-3 team in history. LOL. I mean, sure.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it. Screw it. I don't even care. A couple
years ago, we were 0-16.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, screw it. Baker's now what? I think 19-20 in his career. So you know what? Fine. I'll be the worst 7-3 team. You know what? I'm 7-3.
And in a playoff spot right now. So
that's right.
I mean, we're just taking it 1 week at a time. 1 week at a time.
The Browns can take it 1 week at a time. I'm looking at this as 7-3. So screw you.
So and Michael Hill also says still need a true safety. Yeah, like there is some safety help that we need.
Of course. God, do we need safety help?
Yeah. But actually, you just brought up a point that I wanted to ask you as we kind of go through our Browns talk right now and kind of get through, and we will get to some Buckeyes and Cavs talk, of course. And
we got plenty of it.
And Thanksgiving, I'm already salivating, but. I heard this actually with Aaron Goldhammer and Emmett Golden on 850 as during their post-game show. Of course, they do the national stuff before the game, and then or like the team stuff before the game, and the team stuff switches over down the dial, and then they have their local one. And they were talking about how, the players are buying into Coach Stefanski saying with this 1-0 mentality, or like all those coaching cliches. They're echoing their coach. They're being an example on the field of what their coach is.
My favorite, by the way, embrace the suck.
Embrace.
It's the worst line of all time, but apparently they embrace the suck.
He was talking about the weather, right?
Yes.
Okay. I saw that quote before I actually like saw it in context. I just saw Kevin Stefanski, quote, embrace the suck, end quote.
All right.
Like, what?
Thanks, Kevin.
I was like, we suck? Wait, what?
Right, yeah.
But the guys were talking about how, like, we as fans or even in the media, like, it's our job to talk about the future. Are you looking ahead right now, or are you taking on the personality of the head coach of this team?
Me personally, I'm looking ahead, but that's me. Yeah. I'm a fan. I'm allowed to look ahead.
Right.
Now, these players, they got to take it one game at a time. The coaches got to take it one game at a time. I'm looking at it from the standpoint, if I had money and if COVID wasn't an issue, I'm looking at playoff tickets.
Yeah.
But that's not a realistic thing, especially this year. That being said, yeah, I'm 100% looking ahead. I'm looking at matchups as we speak. You know, like, and I'm allowed to do that because I've seen futility for the last 20 years.
Yes.
I finally have a damn good team that I really want to root for. So 7-3, hell yeah, I'm looking ahead to the playoffs. How about you?
You know where I'm going.
Of course.
So you actually kind of put it on Twitter, like we should make this a bit like the Coach Kev, like this.
Oh, yeah.
I actually kind of like that. Like this will be the Coach Kev moment.
Here we go.
Of the show. We got to think of a name for this segment, but
Just Coach Kev.
Coach Kev. All right.
Coach Kev.
Here comes Coach Kev. I am embracing the personality of the head coach, Kevin Stefanski, and I'm buying into it with the fan in me with a subtle look ahead to where we're at now, where we can go this season and what kind of matchups, what kind of teams we have to face, and what other factors have to come into play to actually go to the playoffs.
Playoffs?
I like that 1-0 mentality
Sure.
in the NFL. And yes, we as fans, we don't have to do that. It's the players. But we've also heard those cliches before. So why is it working now? And this is the Coach Kev talk of the week. It's because how Kevin Stefanski approaches and connects with his players.
Yeah.
They want to play for him, the way he wants to get to know them. He went down before COVID really hit. He went down to Texas to spend time with Baker Mayfield because he knows the coach and quarterback relationship is so important in the NFL to have any sort of success. He was also trying to reach out to some other players individually. He just didn't have the ability to go travel to them because, like we said, 2020 has been a weird year.
Of course.
It's been an unfortunate year, and it's kind of taken away some other things that we just take for granted, honestly. But it's how he's able to connect. And from a coaching standpoint like myself, you may get a group of players that they've been through a lot, they've heard the same things that you're saying, but it's how you say them and it's how you conduct yourself. If you are willing to go to war and back up your players, they are willing to go to war for you and buy into what you're saying. Yeah, people get annoyed by cliches all the time. Coaches are going to use them all the time. It's just what it is. Get used to it. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it.
Yeah.
But coaches are going to use cliches. But a lot of these cliches are real. And in the NFL, it has to be real because you're only playing one game a week and you can only, as players, you can only look at that opponent that you have in front of you.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on around outside of you, you could start looking at the scoreboard to see if these other teams that were 6-3 going into today, what they did after the game. Not before, not during the game. You can't be getting updates like that. You got to focus on the task at hand, the game plan at hand. And that's what this team is doing. Now, I know you don't want to do your Baker Mayfield love meter.
Okay.
I will say that if we are going to look ahead a little bit, he has to make at least one of those two missed throws to the two tight ends.
Yeah.
When they had the opportunity, first and goal, or that goal to go in the red zone scenario. They got the goal to go scenario because of the pass interference play on Harrison Bryant, but that's underthrown. I will say I did see another play like that, and I can't remember which game it was. I saw it in the highlights on Fox at halftime where it looked like a ball was underthrown, but the guy kind of came back to it. Now, Harrison Bryant made a play back and got the pass interference.
I was going to say, pick a game.
Yeah.
Pick a game. It happens every game.
So, but a little bit more effort to kind of come back to the ball because Harrison Bryant is a strong dude, and that was a small cornerback. Like, I think instead of just going for the pass interference, could have made the play. Baker way underthrew that ball.
Yeah.
Then you have another great play design to get Alex Hooper in the back corner of the end zone. Now you're throwing a ball like you should have to Bryant, to Hooper, but now that ball's way past the back pylon and he's wide open.
Sure.
If you're going to make it to the playoffs and win a playoff game and have any hopes of winning a playoff game, those are the throws. While we saw elite level throws in the field,
Sure.
you have to make one of those two plays to be a playoff contender. And it's something that he is building on and growing as he gets that swagger back.
So hot take, I don't think that that's true. I think in order to get to the playoffs, you don't have to do that. Like,
Right.
don't get me wrong. Yeah, I want Baker to do that more than anything else in the entire world.
Okay.
You
That's
know,
fair.
I'd give my first unborn son to have Baker do something, be just consistent. You know, but that being said, I don't think you need Baker to be like, honestly, Baker today will get you to the playoffs.
Right.
If you want to win a game and win multiple games and eventually get to a Super Bowl, you're 100% right. You absolutely need to make plays like that, because I'm not asking for Patrick Mahomes. You know who I'm really honestly asking for? I'm asking for like Derek Carr. I'm asking for a guy that's going to complete 65 to 70% of his passes, hit a couple of long balls, because I mean, you got the talent to do it. So with a clean pocket, Baker's really good. On the rollout, Baker's pretty good. Baker with pressure is an issue.
Yes.
Baker starts getting happy feet, and happy feet leads to bad plays. Maybe not so much turnovers, but the missed throws.
Yes.
And that's the issue that we have going on right now. I don't know personally how to fix that. Thank God, because I'm not a quarterback coach. And I'm not Kevin Stefanski. That's not my damn job. That's their job to fix that. And if you can't fix Baker, then you got to get someone else in here. And that's the case. Then we're looking at a quarterback change. Maybe, definitely not this year, but maybe next year, sometime in the middle of the year or down the road. Obviously, I don't want that to happen. I want Baker to be my quarterback. I want to invest $100 million in Baker and have all of his post game funny business that he does. That's awesome. That'd be great. But I'm only going to pay you that much money if you are going to be my franchise quarterback. I got to know that. I'm not going to give you some crazy. I'm not going to give you a Carson Wentz $110 million deal if you play like Carson Wentz. And that's kind of how he's been playing a little bit. He played better today because he didn't have any turnovers, but Carson did, have a couple of touchdowns, and that's something that Baker needs to get better at. So I think eventually we'll get there. But I mean, right now, I don't believe you need to have those made plays in order to win, or in order to get to the playoffs. But definitely, you got to win some games.
Understand that, and I definitely understand where you're coming from on
Yeah.
that. So at least to get to the playoffs, we're definitely in agreement on winning an actual playoff game. You got to make one of those two key throws. The only reason I say that is I've embraced the mentality that Cleveland is a town, well, like LeBron said, everything is earned. It's not given to you. Everything is, you have to earn it. And we know that even though they are the Browns, they are 7-3, it's going to come down to something to get into the playoffs, because Pittsburgh is right now running away with the division. Nothing is set in stone or anything like that. But in order to get a wild card spot, and especially with so many teams so close right now, and the AFC having so many good teams,
It's bunched up.
One of these games is going to come down to Baker making a play. And that's why I'm saying it could be that kind of play that could get you to that win or loss that may determine your seeding or even a playoff position. So they're going to have to approach these games like playoff games. And if you're going to do that, you got to win those games. And one of those, that play that we say has to win a game in the playoffs, may have to win you a game to get you there. That's the only reason I'm saying that.
That's fair.
Now, speaking of, just to kind of switch gears, I mean, Browns are 7-3, and Tyler LaFrada, again, thank you, DP Construction LLC.
7-3.
Love you, buddy. Yeah, 7-3. I mean, that's just the best way to say it. Like, we can break it down, but you got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you're not enjoying this, then what are you doing? Like, what's wrong? Like, let us know. Like,
Right. Yeah.
But it's
Quit your bitching.
Yeah.
We're 7-3.
And
let's have some fun with it.
And people may call me a hypocrite for saying to enjoy it because I've done some of that bitching.
Sure.
But it's more like just trying to make sure we keep things in reality and not
keep it in perspective.
Keep it in perspective, but also understand, hey, it's gotten us to 7-3. Not gonna go back and change anything. I'm on this ride. I love this ride, and I want to see where it goes. The other ride that a lot of people love to be on, and maybe it's kind of teetering a little bit. We'll see. Buckeyes get a win over it. They get a top 10 win 42-35 over Indiana. Tom Allen is one heck of a coach, and he is like caffeinated beyond belief. He must be drinking. Is he drinking Bang energy drinks?
He's got to
throughout
be.
the game?
He's got to be drinking some Bangs because his post game interview, or
Yeah.
it wasn't even an interview. It was
like
just a video in the
the
locker room.
speech to his team.
Man, I mean, that's so. This is
I thought they were getting ready to go out there and play when I started
okay.
listening to
So
him.
so this is the thing about coaching like that. And,
Yeah.
and to your understanding, I think you'll agree with this.
Yes.
You can only do that for so long before they tune you out.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and that's one of the and like it was the exact right time to pull that card out. But if you lose to Michigan or someone and you're like, oh, I love you guys. Oh yeah, it sucks that we lost, but yeah, I'm here for you. You can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
Against Ohio State, against the number 3 ranked team in the nation, all for it. Like that's fine. But you can only pull that like, hey, I love you, brother, sort of card so much to a team full of 18 to 22-year-olds before they go, okay, I mean, it's one loss on the year. They're 4-1. It's not like they're 500 or anything like that. But if they lose a couple of games, they're gonna tune them out like that.
And since it is like the first week we're doing a Coach Kev segment, I'll just give you like a bonus clip right now.
Yeah.
Just from personal experience, like I was a coach where, even being an assistant at Wycliffe High School for the soccer team, I would have like these like catchphrases that the girls would catch on to
Okay.
that I didn't even realize I was saying or that were like making an impact, but they would catch on
Sure.
to them, and then they put them on a t-shirt at the end of the year or something like that. Like I would be beyond humbled.
Sure.
But then I started to feel like I was trying to force that. Like I was trying to come up with like each game, like that next catchphrase, like what is that? And I could see them tuning me out.
Yep.
So like when I talked, I coached them for what they needed in that moment instead of just being like Tom Allen is like, they tune you out because it doesn't always, every time it doesn't always feel genuine. Like us, like when we get into a heated debate, if we were to do that all the time, the reason why we want to change the game of sports talk and sports debate back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
If it gets heated because we're going to be passionate and we're going to be genuine
Because
about
it's
it.
the truth. And
Yeah.
we're not just taking sides just to take the other
No.
side.
No, that's what's happening in sports talk. But
Yeah.
when you lack that genuineness, people start to read that. They read behind the curtain. And these players, especially young players, young people, definitely read behind the curtain, and they will tune him out.
Do you see Nick Saban doing that?
No.
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 And Nick Saban has like 1 billion championships. Do you see Urban doing that? Urban does it from time to time.
He gets amped up when it's necessary.
Exactly. When it's necessary, not after a loss.
Right.
Not after, and like, once again, it's probably the biggest loss that they've ever had. In their in their football program for at least the last 25 years. It sucks that they had to lose this game because they played a hell of a game.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about it here in a second, but once again, you'd only pull that card so much.
Yeah, it felt awkward watching that
It
video.
did.
It felt
It
really
did.
awkward. But any cause for concern for Ohio State, is Indiana just that good? Or Ohio State have that much concerns, or is there somewhere in between?
I was furious watching
know.
this game. And like, if you could read the tweets or the tweets I wanted to post, but I decided against it because I like my job at ESPN and like I don't want to get fired for abusive language or anything like that on
That
Twitter.
FCC, man.
It's a real deal. It really
That's why
is.
we try to follow it here too.
That's right. That's right. But I'm telling you right now, if the tweets I wanted to throw out there were all like dropping F-bombs because I'm telling you, this defense was so bad. And it's one of those things where you start off the half. I mean, you're what? What were they at halftime? They were, it was 28-7. It was 28-7 at halftime, and then they ended up, scoring 28 points in the second half, and to your 14. I was so furious, and all I wanted to do was like, I got to come out here and say it.
Okay.
You were right. I was wrong.
I didn't know this was going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm just going to soak this in.
You were right. I was wrong. You're big. I'm small. You're smart. I'm dumb. You're very good looking. I'm not so good looking.
All right, don't pass.
So it's going into a lot because because you're absolutely right. We should be concerned with the mental toughness of this team, and because they do have lapses, and these lapses are jarring. I thought it was just one of those, hey, you know what? They just throw the balls out there, and we basically played Akron and Kent, the first couple of weeks. What it feels like. But I said, hey, throw out a Bama. And I know Indiana's not Bama, okay?
Right.
But the ranking should have been like, you know what? Let's go out here and dominate. And in the first half, they did. And then they just rested on their laurels the entire second half. And that bothered the hell out of me. Justin Fields looked human. And, he's allowed to. He can have a bad game, okay? Is he going to win the Heisman? Probably not after that performance. But he's allowed to have bad games. That's fine with me. I'm just thankful that we had Master Teague, who I did call it. I did say that Master Teague's a bad dude.
Yeah.
I like Master Teague a lot. I understand
You
he's not J.K. Dobbins, but he ran for 169 yards. And he was the belle of the ball out there. He was the workhorse of workhorses out there. Gaining the tough yards, and he finally broke one. Thank God. But it's one of those things where that defense is so piss poor that it bothers me. And without Sean Wade getting a free interception and just a pick six, and it was a beautiful pick six. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But other than that, he got burned for 200 yards. And the entire defense, there's not a stud on that defensive line that I go, you know what? We don't have a Bosa, we don't have a Nick Young or a Chase Young. We don't have those guys this year. We have Haskell Garrett, who's a good player, but that's it. Like nobody else. So we have a lot to work on defensively. Thankfully, the rest of our Big Ten schedule is all dog doo-doo. It's thank God for that.
Yeah.
But the Big Ten championship game, we're probably going to play Northwestern, which is ridiculous. The fact that they beat Wisconsin, who I thought was the second best team in the entire Big Ten, and they beat them by, I believe it was 10 points.
Yeah.
By double point.
It was legit.
Yeah. So, hey, more power to them. But I'm not worried about that going forward, but I am deathly afraid of going up against Clemson if they can ever get out of their way with this COVID stuff. But I'm definitely afraid of going up against a top tier quarterback. Bama and Clemson, those are the two teams that scare the hell out of me right now, especially after watching that game.
Peter, any cause for concern for you? Can Ohio State really call themselves DBU or BIA, as they say, best in America, to try to differentiate themselves between LSU and Texas? I think
that game.
Talk about dog dude in Texas.
I think
even
there's
LSU
some.
is not great.
Sorry, Tyler. That's his favorite team.
Okay.
So sorry.
I think there's a little
Just
bit of
pulled the
cause for
sponsorship.
concern, But one of my friends is a Hoosier. He graduated from Indiana, and he runs a number.
Mark Cuban?
No,
I believe he went there. Go on. Though.
I have a Mark Cuban story for later.
Okay.
No, but a friend, Cuban did go there.
Nice.
No, but he runs a couple different things like websites and Facebook pages and stuff all about Cleveland. He's a big Cleveland guy, but he went to Indiana. He's not an Ohio State fan. And, he posted a Sports Illustrated, I think it was an SI article talking about is there cause for concern? I'm like, look, yeah, a little bit, I think. But it's not like Indiana was Michigan coming in here playing like crap. Indiana's a top 10 team. I think, if anything, this shows that Indiana program has really made a turnaround because, for what is it? We've beat them. Ohio State's beat them 26 years in a row.
Yeah, 26 now. It was 25 coming in.
Right. So, what was your guys' thoughts when you heard, Ohio State's playing Indiana this week? Any other year but this year. What was your thought?
Oh, easy win.
Easy win.
Well, then again, they were, favored by 20 points.
Yeah.
Right. And I agree. I agree. I think the defense, there's some cause for concern in the defense.
100%.
The backfield,
Well, the
Back end, yeah.
Oh, the back end of the defense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, a lot of probably a little bit more concern there.
Do you think Sendejo could start there? I'm joking. Obviously,
It looked like a bunch of 23s out there.
It did.
Ugh.
It really did.
So yes, I'm a little concerned, but I think Ryan Day, he got out coached. They
did.
there's a lot of stuff that they have on tape now, on film, that they have, and we'll see how they adjust to it. And that's really what's going to show if there's a need to be concerned. How does Ohio State adjust to what they did on Saturday?
I just want to throw that out there. You're 100% right, Peter. Ryan Day did get out coached, and I know we were talking about Ryan Day being my Miss Jenkins, there for it. But Ryan Day did get out coached, and that was a little surprising. Now, I don't expect that to probably ever happen again, but it was surprising.
Look, you guys know how big of an Ohio State fan I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you guys have seen them, but I still have, and they're still in pretty good condition, trying to keep him away from the rabbit because he loves to eat shoes. But my LeBron Soldier 9, so like they had the latest one that they had for the Soldier line for LeBron for his shoes was the 13, I do believe. I don't know if they continued it or not. I have a LeBron Soldier 9, Ohio State. It's got Ohio State on one, Buckeyes on the other, on the Velcro straps. If I work or if I'm doing anything, I'm going, like, I gotta be wearing my gear on Saturdays. I gotta be wearing those shoes. I gotta be wearing some sort of gear. Even though, like, my work uniform, I had to have it on, and you can't have anything over top. I had the shirt on underneath. Like, you guys know the scarlet and gray that bleeds in my blood. That's why 2 weeks ago, that's why we had that conversation. And what we saw yesterday is why I brought it up, because yeah, Indiana coming in, you should have still been able to dominate them, and you did that in the first half. 28-7. You had Rutgers 35-7. Now, Indiana, I'm going to give them a lot of credit because Michael Penix Jr., he is a dude out there. Ty Freifogel.
God.
Like, they have
torched us.
Yes. They have players. Like, that is, like, their ranking is legit. It's not that they're not top 10 quality.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like, they shouldn't even move. Like
Right.
They played so well that even with a loss, they should still be the 9th team in the nation.
But they did because I think Oregon and Miami moved up.
I'm sure they probably did, but they shouldn't move down that far.
Not that far because that team is legit. The problem is now it's becoming a trend where you see big lead, you're dominating like you're supposed to, and then lapse in mental toughness, lapse in execution, defensive backs just giving up a ton of yardage. You stop. They had -5 rushing yards and almost 500 yards through the air.
Yeah.
Even if there's no fans there, and I feel for the families that can't even be in the stadium anymore, that should not happen in the Horseshoe. That cannot happen in the Horseshoe. When you have a team down, as good as Indiana is, if you are Ohio State, you need to keep them down. And that's why, like, my fear is if you don't weed those bad habits out now, and that's why I was calling them out 2 weeks ago, trying to get that to turn around. If you don't weed out those bad habits now, yeah, you can get through the next 3 games and you can get to the Big Ten championship and possibly, hopefully get through that. Then you go to the college football playoff. When you got to face a Clemson or an Alabama or a top 4 team, and let's say you get up on them in the first half, is that same kind of mindset, philosophy, execution going to come back? It better not. You got to get that out now. Now, Ryan Day was out coached. Justin Fields had his worst game as a Buckeye quarterback. I trust those guys, though, to learn from that, get better, and be better starting next week and taking it out on whoever's in front of them. I think it's Illinois. I trust that. Somehow, Kerry Combs and the rest of that defensive coaching staff and those defensive players have to look themselves in the mirror, too, and do the exact same. Ryan Day will get on them.
Yeah.
They're going to have to take to his coaching, take to that message, and also know we are Ohio State. We better be way better than this, and this is not a true showing of who we're going to be. We are a championship contender, and we're about to show you what that's like, and we better see that moving forward. It's as simple as that. Honestly, I didn't want to think too much about that game because, like, as good as today's, maybe if you call it ugly or not for the Browns, it's a beautiful win. Yesterday was that was ugly, at least mentally going through that game. Now, we're going to table the Buckeye talk, though, because we know that next 3 weeks, there's not
yawn fests.
It's yawn fest that better be yawn fest.
100%. Yeah.
Better be yawn fest. Switching gears to basketball because Cavs have kind of been making some news. We previewed the draft last week.
Apparently, by the way, breaking news,
Yeah.
we traded for JaVale McGee.
We did?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just wanted to. Honestly, that's a great reaction. So I mean, it's a trash move. It doesn't matter.
What did the
I don't know what we
there any-
traded for. Woj said it. So
Okay, I'm gonna intro the Cavs news that I was gonna talk about. If you want to take a look at that real quick,
I'll take a look. Yeah, go ahead.
because I don't even know where to go from here right now. But yes, the Cavs drafted Isaac Okoro, a small forward shooting guard out of Auburn on Wednesday night. Of course, we were kind of talking about Obi Toppin or getting some sort of playmaker there. Defensive stud, all the word coming back on him, and he says he wants to guard the best player. So we'll kind of give our reactions to that as Paulus gets the trade details here for us. Breaking news here on the Voice of the Land.
Okay, so this
I
is
send it over to you, Nick
Yes.
Paulus, at the Voice of the Land breaking news desk.
yes, absolutely. So it says Cleveland is trading Jordan Bell and Alfonso McGee to the Lakers in the Gasol deal. What the hell? Marc Gasol was drafted by. Did he go to the Lakers? Yeah, Marc Gasol finalizing a deal to sign with the Lakers. Sources tell me. So I'm assuming what ended up happening is they didn't have enough room money wise, so they're just trading off people like JaVale McGee. And it says the rationale behind the McGee trade is the second year in the Gasol contract. Signing a 1-year contract would have been a $1.6 million cap hit. Signing a $2 million or signing a 2-year deal with the Lakers takes on the full $2.6 million. $1 million difference can go a long way whenever dealing with a hard cap. So I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, we're a 25-win team at best.
Yeah.
I
don't know that. I don't know if you saw any tweets that it says McGee is actually a plan for the Cavs to actually keep him. I would think that might be a player that gets waived and he has a chance to sign with whatever team that he wants. But
yeah.
Because that's a piece that you would kind of think to add, especially at this time in his career. That's a piece that you would add more.
You would
to.
think.
But I'm not knowing all the details right now. I'm interested to see what the Cavs angle is to that. I get the Lakers angle because it's unloading a contract to open up room to now improve your center position. And like the big man, like Marc Gasol can also step out and hit some shots too. So as long as Anthony Davis decide, like he's kind of thinking over through Thanksgiving how many years he wants to sign for, I guess, and stuff.
Okay.
He's going to be with the Lakers. If he doesn't, I mean, you're going to get like the most, I guess, cryptic tweeting LeBron, undermining LeBron.
We don't have to worry about that. AD is going to be
yeah.
signing for at least a 3 to 4 year
Yeah.
deal, and then he'll be able to re-up whenever he wants.
He may try to match his contract up with what LeBron's got left to
Sure.
then see, like, at
Which
that
makes
point
sense.
where they're both at and what LeBron is going to decide
They're
to do.
going back to back.
Yeah.
It's a foregone conclusion.
Some of those, I know we won't get into NBA fully, but
Yeah.
some of those free agent signings that they have made, I mean, getting
Montrezl
Harrell and Wes Matthews.
Yeah.
I forget who's the third one. Doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
the Lakers. But so the Lakers trying to get rid of that, make the cap room to bring in Gasol because that's been rumored for several days. I don't know what the Cavs angle. If McGee is part of the plans or keep him on right now,
I think they're just like trying to buy out contracts
Yeah,
and
if
everything
they-
like that. So
if not initially, he may be on the roster and doesn't play, and then you buy him out at some point later on for
Right.
contending teams that really
But-
want to bring him on. Isaac Okoro, though, the initial reaction to that pick, what do you think? Is it a good fit? Is it the right pick?
I don't know if it's the best pick that we could have made. I think that there are better players that were available. Honestly, I mean, without watching the NCAA tournament, which is where I get 99% of my
Right.
knowledge for these young and up and coming players, without watching that, it's really tough to really base off of anything. I was cutting up sound for Bruce Pearl sound because they had him on the NBA draft special. It was like during the draft that was going on, and Bruce Pearl called into ESPN Cleveland, and we were talking. The guys were talking to him, and Yeah, I mean, he says that he's the hardest worker out there. Coach speak,
Yeah.
hardest worker out there. He's going to outwork everybody.
He's a winner.
He's a winner. He's going to be, involved in the community. He's going to be, and okay, that's all cool. But the cool part about it was the very next day, because the very next day he was in Cleveland. And he was actually already in the Cleveland outfit, working out. And the dude's big. He's a big dude. He doesn't look like a Kevin Durant, 18-year-old Kevin Durant, who was nothing but skin and bone. The dude looks thick.
He's been in the gym, because you see the highlights from Auburn. He is not he is not that big.
He put on some pounds.
That's
like
COVID,
good weight.
That's what that was the time in between when the draft would usually be in June versus now. These guys have been in the gym, and he has definitely been in the weight room and the gym.
He looks like he gained at least 10 or 15 pounds of muscle. I mean, dude looks yoked.
Yeah.
So good for him. But so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Apparently he's the best defender in the draft, and he views himself as the best defender. So thankfully, because I don't think we've had a good defender in forever here for the Cavaliers. So I am looking forward to that. I need to know how productive he's going to be on the offensive end. Because, if we have a situation where he's, Andre Iguodala, and who a lot of people are comparing him to, and he's just a straight-up great defender, but mediocre on offense. I can deal with that just because, the Cavs need everything. We need the help wherever we can get it. And if this guy's going to make us better team, I'm all for that. But I don't think it was a game-changing move. I don't think that we're looking at a championship run, for the next couple of years because of Isaac. Don't get me wrong; he could probably be a solid player for a team and a solid role player. But as of right now, I mean, he's a good defender. That's all I know.
So I hear the comparisons to Andre Iguodala, and I'm hoping it's the Andre Iguodala that was in Philly.
Yeah, 76er Andre. Yeah.
Not later in his career being a role player for these Warrior teams and winning Finals MVP.
Blocked by LeBron.
Yeah, that's the
one that we don't want. Don't do that.
I'm sure there'll be a welcome to the NBA moment like that.
Oh, without a doubt.
Isaac.
It happens to everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
But the guy that won Finals MVP for locking down, or what they saw as locking down, even though he had great numbers in that 2015 NBA Finals.
Yeah.
I don't want that kind of guy, especially for a young guy coming in. I want the Andre Iguodala in Philly. Yeah, he's always been a great defender, but he was able to get you a bucket.
Yeah.
He was getting buckets early in his career. That's the Iguodala that I would like. My issue is, my reaction, and it's still kind of there, is slightly disappointed. Now, I understand the defense thing completely, because the NBA as a whole plays little defense, and the Cavs are one of the worst defenders at playing bad defense.
Sure.
I mean, the guy that we thought we were going to get, Colin Sexton is a dude that can go get you points, and he can fill it up. But from the young bull mentality that we saw, slapping the floor and defending at Alabama, and those highlights in AAU.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen that defender in the NBA. It has not translated. Darius Garland, not much anything yet.
No.
And unfortunately, Kevin Love, he's gotten the stop, but he hasn't gotten many stops after that. So you don't really have many, if any, defenders on this team. So what a guy like this that can shut down the best player on the other side can do is, if he can take that on himself, then that allows the rest of the four guys. Anybody that's ever played basketball, you do the 4-person shell drill on defense, and trust me, I did that, and trying to score points and getting in the passing lane, playing help side.
Sure.
You can now do that and kind of rotate guys and have a little bit more scheme to your defense. When one guy can take care of that guy,
right,
then you can kind of go into that shell, rotate guys, and play off the ball a little bit, blitz the pick and roll like they did in their days with LeBron and Tristan and all those guys. But what I heard about this Okoro kid is he is going to be great if he can develop an outside shot.
Right.
We heard that just last year with Darius Garland. Now, I'm willing to give Isaac Okoro the time, because he is a guy that I think can do a lot for this team. I'm not mad at the pick. I'm not mad. I'm just a little disappointed from the offensive side of what the NBA is offensively. Yeah, I wanted Obi Toppin. And I know people will come back to me saying he's the worst defender in this draft and probably worst defender coming out in a long time.
Sure.
I get it. That wouldn't help the Cavs defensively. Totally understand that. I'm just disappointed because now we're getting a trend of if this guy develops an outside shot, if they can score the ball consistently offensively. That comes down to coaching, player development, and that's what's going to determine the success of this current Cavs organization.
And I'm, you know what? I'm actually okay with that because I like where we're going with this Cavs organization. I love JB Bickerstaff. I'll come right out and say it. I love JB Bickerstaff.
I do too.
I like what Kobe Altman does typically. I mean, I love Colin Sexton. Yeah, I know I have blinders for Colin. Okay, I mean
he's also your Miss Jenkins.
He's my NBA Miss Jenkins. But I view Colin as, and everyone says, oh, he's the hardest worker out there. He does that. The dude can score.
Yeah.
The dude is, he's not a great defender, and that's what he was touted as.
Yeah.
He was touted at Alabama as being a great defender, and we haven't seen that in the NBA. Hopefully, it comes along, down the road, maybe. But I mean, Colin's a great scorer. I mean, the averages. I mean, if you want to be honest and you want to be real, you look at who's the guy with the Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell. They have identical numbers. Look it up, people. They have identical numbers. You know what the difference is? Wins and losses. Do you know why that's such a big difference? Is because the team around Donovan Mitchell and the team around Colin Sexton. You flip them, they have the same exact numbers. Donovan Mitchell just signed a $200 million contract today. Okay, it worked the money, by the way.
Love Spida Mitchell.
Yeah, I love Spida. But I'm telling you right now, like it just look at the numbers, go based off the numbers. I mean, you're looking at identical people. Donovan Mitchell's a dude, okay? And I don't think that Colin is right there, but you put people in the right situation, stuff will happen. I know we got to hit the Tristan talk before we get going.
Before we close out with Thanksgiving. Of course, in the free agent news, we were kind of talking about that a little bit. I got stunned by Paulus dropping the JaVale McGee bomb on me, but that kind of threw me off a little bit, so I apologize. We are going to go a little bit long, but we do need to get this in because I know you've been. I'm going to throw this one to you though.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson signs a 2-year, $19 million deal with Boston, and a lot of the conversation, and rightfully so, at least thanking Tristan for
100%.
his years. But the extension of the conversation that you have not taken so kindly to is people saying that when his career is over, Tristan Thompson's number 13 should be hung in the rafters for what he did, his role in helping the Cavs break the 52-year drought in Cleveland and getting the Cavs their first championship as an organization. I throw it to you. Why do you think that? Why should his number not be in the rafters?
It is ridiculous to think that Tristan Thompson should be in the rafters. I get it. Like I went back and forth with Danny Cunningham, former member of ESPN Cleveland, great writer for Complex. I'm telling you right now, like the way that I look at it, like Tristan was a solid role player, a very good role player. Played 9 years here in Cleveland. Thank you for everything. Just like what I did with Kyrie. Hey, thank you for the shot. Thank you for doing everything. Okay, see you later. Okay, Tristan deserves a little bit more than that because he stuck around through the bad times, the great times, and then the bad times again. Okay. But that just doesn't mean that you get to go in the rafters. Like for me personally, I think going in the rafters, you got to do that sounds mean. Like he didn't do anything. Okay, he did a lot. He's the third leading rebounder for the Cavaliers organization. So kudos to you. Okay, but I saw someone make the argument that he was the third leading rebounder. The reason why he should be in there is because of the championship. He's the third leading rebounder, and he's a top 12 wins percentage guy for the Cavs. Like, come on. Is that your reasoning? Come on. That's ridiculous. I like TT just as much as the next guy, okay? But a guy that averaged 9, 9, and 1 for his career and only had 2 years of double-double play, doesn't deserve to get his number 13 retired. I'm sorry. I think that's a joke. Okay. And Danny, hit me up with, well, they did that with
Nate Thurman.
Nate Thurman. He played 2 seasons here, averaged 5 points and 6 rebounds, and so you made a mistake before, you want to do it again? That's ridiculous. I don't get it. You are in the rafters. You have the championship banner. You have a ring. Congrats. You have an $80 million deal that you just completed, and now you have a $19 million deal. Congrats.
Yeah.
That's what you get. Okay? Good for you, because you have to play with LeBron. You got paid. And you also are married to you're dating a Kardashian.
And he's also, his agent is also Rich Paul.
Right.
Clutch
yeah.
Sports. So.
And obviously great. But I think it's ridiculous. I think that the rafters should be for people that are all-star elk. If you want to say LeBron, obviously, if you want to say Kevin Love and Kyrie deserve to be up there, I'm for that. Even with the bad taste that Kyrie's left, I'm okay with that because A, he made the shot. Mm-hmm. B, he was a multiple-time All-Star here, and he was the first pick. I'm cool with that. Okay. But I mean, I think it's a dumb thing to put number 13 up there, because if you do that, then you're looking at, okay, well then we got to put 5 up there. We got to put J.R. Smith up there. We got to put number 4 up there. We got to put Shump up there because he hit a 4-point play in Game 7. We got to put once again, we got to put 5 up there because J.R. hit 7 points coming out of the halftime. If that's our reasoning, then you know what? Let's throw Delly up there because he guarded Steph for 2.5 games the season before. Back off. Come on. That's stupid.
So, and in this job and in this quest to become more involved in the media industry, and our mentor Emmett Golden talks about this all the time. Yeah. You're supposed to take one side or the other. He kind of goes down the middle sometimes, and it's being real.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of go down the middle here.
Okay.
Because I can see both sides.
And I just want to say this real quick. It's not going to ruin my day if Tristan Thompson, goes up in the rafters and they do retire 13. They have a wonderful parade and they do throw flowers at him. Okay, cool. It's not going to ruin my day. I just think it's dumb. I think that the rafters are for all-stars. And that's what it should be.
Yeah, if they do that, you'll challenge FCC rules for 5 minutes, and then move
just
on
go
from
all
there.
out. Yeah.
Go on from there. See, to Danny Cunningham's point and love reading your stuff, Danny. Trust me. Of Nate Thurman, kind of using that as an argument against you. I think that was done more as a legacy acknowledgement to Nate Thurman, because Nate Thurman was a multiple-time All-Star, top 50 player in the NBA. That the Cavs didn't get that guy, the rest of the league did, but kind of as a kudos, honoring him and his legacy. That's kind of why they did it. Yeah. So it's not like there should be mistakes like that, or Tristan does not have anywhere close to that. I don't want to
even call it a mistake. Right. I just think it's a dumb thing that they did back then. I don't want to do another dumb thing now.
So Tristan doesn't have the Nate Thurman cachet. So, and I understand the other point to why you wouldn't put him up in the rafters is what you just ended with, is then you got to talk about number 5. You got to talk about JR. You got to talk about Shump. That's where the real question marks, where my real question marks come in. Where does it end?
Yeah.
But Danny brought up a good point, also saying that we don't win a lot of championships. We can't be as selective. And what Tristan Thompson did here, not just stat-wise, but the ability to see, in the playoffs, it's always teams can scheme against you. And if you're not a great player, if you see a stat line of 9, 9, and 1 for their career, it's a guy that you should be able to easily game plan for. Now, Tristan Thompson was continuously able to get those extra possessions, those effort, hustle plays, helping the Cavs come back from 3-1, winning that championship, and something he has done his entire time being here. And he was always under LeBron's wing as his brother, but he was one of those main guys that was able to blitz and be physical with Steph, be physical with Klay, coming off those pick and pops, those pick and rolls. And when they were able to scheme against some of what were considered the better teams in the East, that blitzing type defense and those schemes that they came up with, Tristan was a big part of that, and he made Delhi look like, I love when Danny said he made Delhi look like an absolute artist of the alley-oop. So that's why, like, as for a Cavs number in the rafters, not in any sort of anywhere close to a Hall of Fame or league-wide notoriety, Cavs history-wise, that's why I wouldn't be opposed to them putting his number in the rafters. But again, I see he's kind of that fence line where if he goes up in the rafters with the other three, LeBron, K-Love, and Kyrie, then where does it end? Because there are some question marks to Tristan, but there's a lot more body of work to Tristan than those other two as to why I could see the Cavs organization doing that.
Okay, so before we hit our final topic and like a real speedy final topic there for us, I don't see, and I've checked this out, I don't see other teams that have won a single championship or just a couple of championships do I don't see Udonis Haslam's jersey going up in the rafters anytime soon. Maybe
I do.
Maybe just because he'd been there for 50 years.
That's a Miami Heat legacy thing that they'll do.
Maybe
with Udonis.
Okay, but look at someone like Dallas, Jason Terry. Okay, Jason Terry's number's not up there. Jason Terry played for, I think, with him for, it was like 8 or 9 years. He was one of the main reasons, him and Dirk, that won the NBA championship back in 2011. I don't see his number retired. And I thought he was a better, a pound for pound player. I thought Jason Terry was a better player than what Tristan Thompson was. Okay. So once again, I'm getting off topic. I love Tristan Thompson. Thank you for everything. And thank you for the championship. We don't win that championship without you. Probably not. Okay. But I don't think you deserve to be in the rafters. And that's not anything harsh to say. Dude, you got your ring, you got your money. You are technically in the rafters with that banner. We should be happy with that.
Yeah, and you touched your ring to it. So, there's a little essence of you
absolutely.
In the rafters. Again, you bring up great points with those players, and that's why I'm kind of on the fence where I'm not going to pound the table on the side of it needs to be up there like some people are doing. I don't see it as dumb of a decision as you do to put them up there in the rafters because of what goes beyond the stat book and what I'm kind of looking for. Yeah, we love stats. We're going to bring them up to make points and bring perspective to everybody's sports takes. But
numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie, but there is a story that goes beyond the box score that you have to see. So I think I would be in favor of it, but I see the other side where, again, he is then that conversation starter to open the door for Chump and JR.
And I just don't like that.
And as much as I thank them, too, when they made those key plays, they don't have any sort, they did not make enough of an impact in 1 or 2, 3 years on this team or in this organization to go up in the rafters. So we'll see once Tristan's kind of down the line. We'll see when Tristan's career ends where that kind of goes. But understand where you're coming from. Just wanted to play devil's advocate. It's not something we need to yell about. So not that big into it. Now, to close things out, it is Thanksgiving week. And we would be remiss if we didn't, even though we have gone over our time, we would be remiss if we did not talk Thanksgiving. And want to be, of course, honoring the great Chris Berman. In his words, want to be among the first to wish all of you out there a happy Thanksgiving. Anybody that's watching or tuning in later on in the week, thank you so much to everybody tuning in, and a happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Want to go around real quick, just quickly around the table. We'll start with you, Paulus. And hopefully you are having some sort of Thanksgiving. And to anybody that's not able to have traditional stuff, we are sorry. Hopefully we can get through this and have these kind of moments in the very, very near future. But the one dish at Thanksgiving you can't go without, and your favorite holiday.
This year, it is definitely going to be a little bit different. My grandma's actually in the ICU right now with COVID and pneumonia, so it's rough right now. We
continue prayers to you and your family.
I appreciate that. Thank you. She's a tough old bird. I think she'll be okay.
Okay.
So, but we typically go over to grandma's. We have turkey for days. But my go-to
Dish
dish, yeah,
or like side, like
yeah,
element?
side dish, something like that. I'm starting like I never liked stuffing for the longest time. I don't know why, but I love it now. I am a stuffing fiend. So I go with the stuffing there for us. The turkey solid, nice little solid like turkey leg or something like
Yeah.
that. That's always a good go-to. But I'm gonna go with that for like a dessert though. My pumpkin roll. That pumpkin roll that my mom makes is fantastic. I absolutely love that. And then obviously, and then once again, the other question there for you, favorite holiday is actually it's right there between Thanksgiving and Easter. I love Easter because I love ham. So
Yeah.
like that's probably my go-to overall holiday food is ham. But I'm gonna go with Thanksgiving because it has football. So
Okay.
how about you, Peter?
Oh, wow, that's it's hard to follow there, Nick. I was going to ask you,
My mouth's watering already.
you ever make the sandwich with the turkey and the
Come
stuffing?
on, yeah, come
Yeah.
on. Oh yeah,
That's
put a
that's
little
what.
gravy
to.
on top.
Oh,
of
that's
that.
one of my favorite
Oh.
things, like after Thanksgiving. So, normally we go to my sister-in-law. She, cooks like a fiend.
Yeah.
But because of COVID and my in-laws are, have some health issues, so we're not, we're kind of socially distancing. We're doing a smaller thing at home. So, yes, I love stuffing, but my sister-in-law makes this. I think she makes it. Someone brings it. It's this like corn pudding stuff. It's like cornbread with
Okay.
with like whole corn and like cream of corn in
wow.
it. It's like, so it's kind of like a really moist like cornbred.
Nice.
And I love corn anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Right.
so it's like that's one of the
Give
things.
me all the corn.
That's like one of the things that I'm going to be missing this year because
Yeah.
I'm hoping that maybe someone drops
Right.
them off at my
Maybe.
house, but I'm missing that, and I'll probably be missing the turkey sandwiches for days afterwards
Yeah.
because we're just doing a smaller thing,
Sure.
with the family. But as far as in pumpkin pie for dessert,
Yep.
I love just a good pumpkin pie.
Good old pumpkin pie is
Yeah.
good.
So my wife, she does not bake, so she ordered from Patterson's a
Okay.
pumpkin pie. She does not like pumpkin pie,
Mhm.
so she ordered an apple pie. So we have plenty of pie.
There,
So
here you go.
I'll have pie for days at my house.
I like it. I like it.
Favorite holiday? It's kind of a toss up between Thanksgiving and Christmas because
Okay.
for those are the two big ones where it's really just about the family getting
Mhm.
together, eating, and there's football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that's kind of my
The
favorite
good
thing.
times. Yeah.
So yeah, but I do like Thanksgiving. I think maybe it has a slight edge just because one, I don't have to buy everyone presents because I'm looking at my son over here, and also with you get the longer weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I get the longer. And this year I'm taking off like Wednesday to Monday.
Nice.
I'm not going back to
Nice.
work till December.
It's gonna be in a
1st,
food coma for days.
Oh,
Right.
I'm looking forward to it. Food and football. So
it's gonna be great.
oh yeah, it should be fantastic.
Before I get into mine, real quick, my girlfriend brings up a good point. We were just at Barrio about a week and a half ago.
Nice.
They have a special going on right now. It is a Thanksgiving taco, like with like turkey and mashed potatoes, like turkey
sounds
elements in the taco. Like Barrio is good.
Yeah.
I suggest you go try that. Like I tried a little bit of a bite that didn't have the dairy part in it, and I'm telling you, like if I could eat dairy, that thing is even better than what I got to taste. So
Yeah.
that is a go-to, and that is a recommendation for my girlfriend and myself. For me, Thanksgiving, I was like you. I didn't like stuffing.
Yeah.
And for some reason, as I've grown up, like the stuffing, especially the stuff that comes out of the turkey, like my family makes extra batch of stuffing, but the stuff that comes out of the turkey, it's like two different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
It's still good, but it's two different worlds. But it's the stuffing, and it's got to be the turkey leg. Like
Yeah.
because I like to be like in medieval times and do that. Like when we have a very small family, so we'll be fortunate this year, and I feel very blessed and fortunate. We'll be able to do the same thing, and kind of people working in the medical field, getting tests and stuff to kind of solidify that we can go over to Grandpa's house. But my family usually gets a very small turkey, and then they get 2 extra turkey legs because we have like a second one the next day.
Sure.
There's not a whole lot of leftovers, but they have a lot of leftover stuffing and mashed potatoes and everything. So I always have like 2 days full of turkey legs.
Nice.
I'll miss that second day because stores aren't getting shipments and stuff. But it's okay because my girlfriend will probably, from her family, be bringing like stuff from like a 20, 22-pound turkey. Like freezer's about to throw up turkey.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I'm all for it. And then favorite holiday, or well, honestly, the dessert too. We usually have a pumpkin pie, apple pie, and used to. They don't do it anymore because I don't think anybody really eats it, and I can't because I'm dairy free now. And they've not found a dairy free option. Chocolate pudding pie.
Ooh.
My Aunt Chris is a great baker and learned from my grandma, and prayers to my grandma, of course. But, that was just always, that was the only pie I would eat because I wouldn't eat pumpkin pie or apple pie as a little kid. So, like, that's kind of my childhood memories of Thanksgiving. My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving because of the food and because of the football. Christmas is very, very close, though, because I get basketball that day. But for me, Christmas is the lead up. Like, decorating when it's appropriate, not disrespecting Thanksgiving. I've talked about that before. But I'm telling you, come Black Friday or even December 1st, there's going to be Christmas movies playing out the wazoo. I'm going to decorate no matter what tree we get. I am sorry, Jana. I'm going to put as many lights on there as I can, as many as we can afford. I'm going to decorate our apartment. I love that part of it. Christmas music playing in my car. It's always the lead up, and then you get to the day, and it's just like, you get to spend time with family, but it's always like that build up to the day.
Yeah.
And you just kick back and relax on Christmas. So maybe I build it up a little bit too much beforehand. I have a little bit more fun pre-Christmas than I do the day of, but always a good time, and hopefully people are able to have somewhat of a semblance of it, or if not, we can get through this and have those moments again, have all those family time moments moving forward, and everybody get on Zoom and try to have as much family time and connection as possible. And, of course, to my sister, Amy, out in Seattle, happy Thanksgiving to you and your fiance, Travis, and continued congratulations on that as well. And we will be talking very soon on FaceTime, I'm sure. But that is going to wrap it up. My mouth is salivating. I got to go home, got to get some food. For my brother, Nick Paulus, and our producer extraordinaire, Peter Tullup, we want to thank everyone tuning in, no matter what platform you're tuning in on, or if you're tuning in late. Again, reach out to Where I'm From. Go on to their social media sites, whereimfrom.com. Last minute, Sunday, November 22nd. If you're listening after, you missed it. But tonight, by 11:59 and 59 seconds, a great Baker Mayfield giveaway. Signed jersey, couple hoodies, couple shirts, accessories, $1,000 prize giveaway that they'll announce about 3 days later. Get in on that. Get your name in there. We want to thank Where I'm From for all their support for Big Play. Want to remind all you sports fans out there, as always, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. I am Kevin Arnold signing off, and we love you all. 3,000. We will see you all next week.